we are ready to get underway in front of more than 14,000 fans here at the Kohl Center. It is only the second time since this building opened up in 1998 that a women's basketball game has been sold out. Double team early on for Sharon Goodman. Gabby Marshall from deep. She had a cold shooting day her last time out. Marshall went 0 for 5 from the floor in their last game. Sarah Williams gets the first. It's stolen right away by Sanaya Copeland. Williams gets on the board first for the Badgers.
And this is exactly what I expected. Marissa Mosley, they believe that they have an advantage in the post tonight, and so they...
And size-wise, they do have an advantage.
Well, they do, and also Sarah Williams is one of the top post players in this league.
Which I assume means added emphasis on Williams to make sure she's out of foul trouble today.
Well, she has to, and that's something that she's gotten better at. And you see right there the double team from Iowa. They know that she's one of the top post players and one of their main weapons.
Very quick move by Ronnie Badger fans.
And that was because of the double team that came, and Williams passed out of the double, which is an improvement for her.
Players who's been stepping up this season for the Hawkeyes. More from Porter, driving baseline. She's only 5'4", and she turns the ball over. Molly Davis the other way. Straight into the paint. Beautiful bounce pass to Marshall, who can't finish. Two have 15 free throws. Historically, if teams do that, they have the best chance of beating the Hawkeyes. Goodman cleans up Clark's miss.
You would think of a typical Iowa big, like a Monica Snodel, Megan Gustafson. Her size, her ability to finish at the rim.
Williams again on the other end.
About going inside.
I mentioned Goodman. She averaged 1 point a game last year. She's up to 9 so far this season. And Schrammick with the steal. Copeland all the way in. Start for Wisconsin. Keep in mind, the last game they played, they had only 2 points the first 7 minutes of action.
Well, but they were getting good shots. And so, I mean, sometimes the ball just doesn't go in.
It can go in there for Kate Martin, and it hasn't gone in for the Iowa Hawkeyes, who are off to a slow start, missing 3 of their first 5 shots.
Players listening, she said it wasn't some big dramatic, you know, come to kumbaya moment. It was more like, hey, this is what we need.
Back in the paint. This is Copeland guarding Clark.
Well, Marissa Mosley thinks that Sanaya Copeland is their best defender. I wouldn't disagree with that. She was a little too aggressive on that one.
Big assignment for the sophomore. She will start and has started on Clark, who's scoreless after a few minutes of action. Great find, however, to Molly Davis, in and out. Schrammick with the rebound.
The thing about Sanaya Copeland is she's competitive. She's young, but she's competitive, and she's fearless, and she's got athleticism and length, which is going to be a great matchup against Caitlin Clark.
Top of the key, number 10, is Hallie Douglas, who just checked in. She played in the last game, and that was the first time she played in 375 days, recovering from injury. And the Lake Forest, Illinois native drives the lane but misses. Clark with her first board of the day. Clark might just keep this thing. Oh, look at that dribble! Leisinger guarding Clark. Hanna Stuelke through a double team, draws a whistle. This is an Iowa team that has won 20. The last time Wisconsin beat the Hawkeyes,
having a young team like Wisconsin has, is they don't know anything about history, so they could care less about that streak. Like,
they were barely alive the last time Wisconsin beat the Hawkeyes. Ball swinging around. Schrammick from the top of the key.
Movement by the Badgers.
They had only 1 point in their last game when they played and lost to Butler. Well, let's look back at that 3.
So right here, this is just great ball movement. Sanaya Copeland, she thought about it, and then she said, no, I've got a teammate.
Here's Clark looking for her first points of the game. Down the lane, she gets the layup. It's traveling. That's something I know other coaches have been wanting to keep an eye on for Caitlin Clark.
And it might have been a travel. She's been playing that way.
Senior, leading the nation in scoring, which you've done twice before in your career.
And in all fairness, you should. You know, there are different rules for players like LeBron, Kobe, Caitlin.
She is, by the way, at that first name basis point. you can just say Caitlin, and everyone knows who you're talking about in the world of sports. Here's a turnover. The Hawks are pushing. Nice feed from Clark and Stuelke.
Injury. She's so good at running the floor and leading getting in position for finishing at the rim.
She missed 3 games a couple weeks ago with a leg injury, but she came back. One of the players, along with Sharon Goodman, who they expect to pick up the slack. And the big 4 and 5 starter they lost last year, McKenna Warnock. Here's Clark with a deep 3-pointer, around and out, and Douglas with the board. Up ahead running's the youngster Jimenez. Can't finish the 2, but sticks with it, and the possession stays alive. Copeland, too strong on the 3. Ronnie Porter guarding Clark. Another nice feed from Clark. Stuelke with the second effort.
Caitlin Clark is so good at transition. Name me a better player in transition, and I will say you're lying.
Sure enough, more than 14,000 fans here. Only the second sellout in the Kohl Center history for women's hoops. Again, it opened back in 1998.
She is so good for this game, Mike. She is so good for women's basketball.
Amazing the attention the sport has gained. We were talking with Lisa Bluter before the game about when Sue Bird and Jason Sudeikis stopped by.
Versus number 2. It was a non-conference game versus Bowling Green, which is a very fine team in the match. But it's superstars, megastars like Jason Sudeikis and Sue Bird.
Giannis Jimenez, the freshman, that free throw stopped a 7-0 run for them once again. Clark thought she had Stuelke back there. And that's a turnover. Clark passed 3,000 points in her career in that last game they played. Twice this year, she scored 16 points or more. And her head coach, Marissa Mosley, told us she's
she's a baller. She's what, like, if I were scouting her on a scouting report, I would just write a baller. She's just got a good feel for the game.
I mean, you will see, if you watch this whole game, this is a great rebound and put back by Will. She will drive the lane in a way that's rare to see in this sport. Stuelke spinning around a double team. Fouls on Sarah Williams, who will head to the bench. And we mentioned at the top of the game that could be an issue for the Badgers. They want to keep her out of foul trouble. And she's already sitting after not even 7 minutes of action. This is a nice start for Wisconsin. You're looking at the lowest scoring team in the Big Ten, who struggles early on in games sometimes. They've already got 15 with 3 minutes to go in the first. Haven't heard any scoring from Natalie Leisinger. Nia Tramick with the miss. Ball's out of bounds. After this game, they're going home. There's 14,000 people are going to live the rest of their lives. You need to just worry about you and not the fans and not the opponent. 4. Martin to a cutting Clark for 2. And another one.
She is showing that she's just as effective without the ball as she is with the ball. As you see her right there making that nice basket cut and finish. The other area against her is she's finishing through contact at a higher clip than she was her first few years.
2 fouls on Natalie Leisinger, so that's 2 starters for the Badgers already on the bench, each with 2 fouls early on. Ronnie Porter showing off. There were 2 players they said could do it. One of them was Porter, and the amazing thing is how small she is, but how aggressive. For only 5
just let that go. I mean, Gabby Marshall's not really known. She's a good defender, but not
for someone who's 5'4".
She's like Mighty Mouse. That's someone.
A top 5 ranked team. They continue to hold the lead over Iowa. We approach 2 minutes left in the first. Clark to Stuelke. Douglas with the board. Marshall guarding Porter. And there's a turnover for the Hawks. Wisconsin will turn the ball over. They lose about 17 of them per game this season. Stuelke, give and go. Again, Douglas with the board. Porter's going to reset. Wisconsin shooting 58% in this first quarter. Schrammick, the mid-range. Put back by Douglas, this her second game back. Big Ten Plus delivers thousands of non-televised live events, access to next day on-demand replays, multi-view for as low as $9.95 a month at BigTenPlus.com. Entire season only played in 5 games then, only played 3 minutes in that outing yesterday. There goes Clark, up to 8 points. On the drive, Clark on her, Davis with the rebound. There's about a 2-second difference between the game and shot clock, so Clark will hold things up. Eight seconds. Kate Martin from deep. Goodman keeps it alive. Final attempt from Davis.
The smallest player out there right now for Iowa. And she's right there in the mix. You can see her right there. No one's worried about boxing her out, and you never give up on a possession.
Titles as an assistant coach at UConn. Davis's free throws are good. We are not points to go along with more than 750 boards, 750 assists in her career. No man or woman in college basketball had ever done that before.
And when you think about Caitlin Clark, you automatically think about the step back three, but she's more than just a shooter. She can get to the rim, she can create for herself, finish through contact at a higher rate, and then move without the ball.
Points the team scores, which is 38%, and it is exactly what she has right now through the first quarter. Second opportunity on this possession for Wisconsin.
The more she has to do, then the less I like Iowa as a team. I like Iowa. She's the X factor.
She went 0 in the Kansas State loss. Didn't have a single point. Ever since then, she's averaging almost 15 a contest. She's been playing so good that, to your point, Lisa Bluter told us WNBA teams are starting to sniff around about her specifically.
Known as a three-point shooter, but she looked like a driver on that last possession.
Shot clock down to 10. Sarah Williams back in the game with 2 fouls. Gets the bucket, heading to the line.
And then they go right back to her. If they're going to play her with 2 fouls, you might as well use her. And she just goes to work and just dribbles right around Sharon Goodman.
Mostly told us the thing they love about what Williams has done this year is her conditioning. Last year as a freshman, she could really only go 2.5. She's been so much better at that this season that it just means they can get so much more out of her.
If they can get her to about 35 minutes a game this season, that'd be great.
She puts her paw up there to deflect the pass as Caitlin Clark has come back into the game and the Badgers are running. Jimenez, baseline, and a foul on Sharon Goodman. With 9 points, that's a game high. Porter just full confidence flying in there and allowing Williams.
It'll be interesting to see defensive dead balls.
Stuelke against Williams. There's a good look for Kate Martin. Hawkeyes have yet to hit a three-pointer today, 0 for 6. Sanaya Copeland. And they beat them. That's 27 consecutive wins for the Hawkeyes in this rivalry.
And every time you mention that stat, I'm going to tell you these young kids for Wisconsin do not care. And
Stuelke hits the first free throw, so chat from her head coach.
Coach right now. Hey, don't worry about it. We'll get you back in as soon as we can.
Anna Guillen, number 11, is checked in for Wisconsin. Another freshman. Porter lets it fly. Sydney Affolter with the board. Clark with Copeland on her like a glove. Feuerbach Iowa's still yet to hit a three. Affolter. Stramick with the ball, and the Badgers force a turnover.
I mean, Iowa's missing wide open threes, so you can't get any better looks than what they're getting.
Shot clock under 10. Affolter, nice defense on Jimenez.
But right here, let's just take a look at this on-ball defense. And so now we're back to Sanaya Copeland guarding her, and she's given her all kinds of fits. You can even see from Copeland.
Marissa Mosley told us they mostly want to try to frustrate Caitlin Clark, make her take tough shots. Don't give her any open looks. So far, they've mostly been able to do that. Although Clark finds space in a heartbeat.
Down on the ball, I'm going to give up the ball, and then I'm going to beat you on a back cut.
Taylor McCabe in the game, guarding Porter. The Hawkeyes have a 5-on-4 as Porter is slow to pick up. Martin from deep. Affolter with a foul on Jimenez. Back at that back door from Clark.
Well, just watch how she sets up Sanaya. So she's casual, and then boom, she explodes to the rim. So she lulls her to sleep, and then she gives it a first.
Affolter's first point of the game. His lead is 2. Hawkeye team that, once again, is great at scoring. They're averaging 88 a game and held so far a little bit below their average. Guillen. And McCabe has the board. Martin will fire and hit. 5-point lead. That's their largest lead so far today as Kate Martin, the first three-pointer for Iowa after 8 straight misses. And the Fox Sports app. We were tied after 1. Iowa has had the early lead in the second quarter by a score of 10-5. Foul trouble for Sarah Williams. Post player is on the bench with 3.
You see Iowa shifts into this zone, this 2-3 zone.
Porter for 3 is good.
That'll be a zone buster.
Beautiful defense by Copeland. Again this year, they need her to be great.
She has to be great, Mike. And she's not just a senior. She is a 6-year senior. She's been in this program for 6 years. She has a sense of urgency. She has a mindset, a mentality that you can't teach or coach. You only develop it with age and experience.
Guillen has to force up a shot as the shot clock's expiring. And there's a beautiful outlet from Clark to Stuelke. Affolter with the follow.
I know she's mad at herself for blowing that layup, but she can't. Like, she's still getting back her timing, her rhythm. That takes reps.
By the way, to our previous point, as they were coming down, Martin was talking to Stuelke as they were backpedaling. Copeland shot offline. Clark with the board. Iowa running again. Clark will stop and pop around and out.
It's awesome. The environment is awesome. Every time she misses a 3, you can just feel it. This entire arena. This is what we came here to see. Make that.
It is wild. You really do feel it in your bones when she starts to drive. You can see the look in her eyes. The entire crowd knows something interesting is about to happen. This might be another one of those moments. Takes it all the way in. Rebound to Guillen. Porter on a 2-on-3 break, takes it herself and floats it up and in.
Their pace. They're not walking it up. They're not slowing it down. They're matching Iowa right now in transition.
Clark will inbound.
Sometimes, Mike, it's all it takes is that one to open it up.
Martin gets her own rebound. Puts it back up and in.
About pace. This is what Marissa, she's even imploring Ronnie. Move it, run, quicker.
Jimenez loses the ball. Gabby Marshall scoops it up. Clark wants it. Clark fires. Caitlin Clark has missed all 4 3-point attempts this afternoon. Jimenez took too many steps at the end.
Iowa's so good. They're so efficient in out of bounds plays, baseline out of bounds plays. And they have.
This is Kate Martin's 111th straight start. She started playing in the Carter administration, I believe. Kick ball, it'll stay with Iowa. When Caitlin Clark and the Hawkeyes come to town.
In my years as a player, in my 24 years as a coach, I haven't seen one player make an impact like this.
That bucket gives her 12 points. Jimenez takes a bump, keeps the ball. Schrammick, beautiful lane. Schrammick, the senior, only had 1 point in the last game, making a bigger impact today. She's already got 5. Marshall to Martin. The threes are so tough to come by for Iowa, but the rebounds are not. Marshall hits that shooter, and sometimes all it takes is one to go down for her to find that rhythm.
And that three was made possible by Sydney Affolter's tough rebound, and that's what one of the things that Lisa Bluter talked about is her willingness to get on the ground.
10-second difference between shot and game clocks. They switch on Clark. 3 to shoot for Affolter. Clark will heave it and drop it from way downtown. And she gives the Jordan shrug to the fans. Porter at the buzzer. I was thinking you're just going to leave it at good, which I think works for number 22. I mean, this is real nice, Clark. Real nice. 10-point lead for the Hawkeyes at halftime. Said one team has Caitlin Clark and the other one doesn't.
And we talked about Caitlin Clark and how she has grown as a player. She doesn't just need the ball in her hands to be effective. A little give and go action here. She can get to the rim. She's not just a shooter. A little push off here to create some space, but she can drive and finish through the contact, which is an added development for her. But hey, let's not forget, she can shoot. I hate it for Wisconsin. I do, because she was playing so well. She was a perfect 5 for 5 from the field, and now she's not even going to be able to start this third quarter.
That's right. She's sitting out right now on the bike. We'll see when she does join this game.
The Wisconsin bench know it, too.
Oh, you're being kind. You don't think it was at the fans. You think it might have been at the bench. As a coach, you had a few of those in your day, right?
I did. My Kohl Center from Nebraska did me off.
Second half.
And that was Brooke Schrammick, who I really want to see step up. When Sarah Williams goes out, then we need that senior to show herself.
Who specifically has to step up? You mentioned Schrammick. You want Williams to stay out of foul trouble. Who else? I would argue 24, Leitzinger guarding Clark. Who makes an athletic move but can't finish because she was scoreless in the first half.
Well,
Copeland, highlight 2 points for the Badgers early on.
We talked about who else from Wisconsin needs to step up. Well, why not Sanaya Copeland? She's shown that she's more than capable. She's aggressive, and she's confident, which is very important when you're playing
Earlier, how important she has been to this team since the Kansas State loss. Her scoring has skyrocketed, and they've gone undefeated 6-0 since. Look at Caitlin Clark, split out.
Copeland go coast to coast, and Caitlin said, you know what, anything you can do, I can do better.
There's Leitzinger, who I mentioned is scoreless today, averages 7 a contest. One of the many Badgers who's taken big strides this season compared to last year. Allie Douglas, second game of the season back from injury. Leitzinger keeps alive, but the shot clock's down to 0. And Molly Davis has the board. Here's Sharon Goodman. We called her name a bunch in the first few minutes, but not after. That's an offensive.
And Caitlin Clark said, hey, my partner in crime, Kate Martin, is out, so I'm just going to go ahead and handle this whole possession by myself.
By the way, away with 7 a contest. And she's right in the face of Leisinger. Almost forced a turnover there. Schrammick. Stuelke guarding her well. Leisinger can't score. And there's a
goes on to win this game, keep the lead and win this game. Then I think Wisconsin is going to look to the missed layups and the fouls and the offensive rebounds.
2 fouls on Molly Davis. Sarah Williams still on that bike. We haven't seen her yet in the second half with her 3 fouls. Hallie Douglas. Nice feed inside to Stuelke in a battle down there in a paint.
You don't, it's not too often you see a 5'4" player trying to back down another 5'4" player, but it's great to have the senior Hallie Douglas.
So here's Hanna Stuelke, an 83% free throw shooter on the season. She's actually the best on the team in terms of percentage from the line. Really improved nicely. They needed her to step up with Monica Sonano leaving. She's gone from 6 points a game last year to 11 this year, and she's done so well.
She felt like Hanna Stuelke was a first-team all-conference caliber player.
Copeland gets some space. Been a tough day from the three-point line. Only 6 made total. But when you can get past,
she kind of hung her head a little bit on the way back down, and I said, hey, it's too early for you to get down that way. She's just got to get her timing back. Remember, she did miss some games with that injury.
Sarah Williams is waiting to check into the game as Ronnie Copeland, no whistle. Clark wanted one. Porter the other way on Stuelke. No whistle there. There's a whistle.
We talked about it, Mike. It's the missed layups by Wisconsin, but here Caitlin, she wanted that. She tried to sell
because she picked up 3 fouls fairly quickly. She also picked up 11 points, so it was an effective 7 minutes of action. We'll see if they go to her offensively and see if the Hawkeyes try to attack her.
Offensively, but yes, you're very aware of it. You have someone on the bench that's keeping track of things like that.
She's up to 20 points, which means she's now scored 20 every single game this season. We got an offensive foul. Williams, that's her 4th foul.
And we talked about Iowa earlier in the first half and their ability to score, how just efficient they are out of bounds plays. But here on the other end, Sarah Williams, she initiates that contact. You've got to play with your arms straight up.
Great find from Stuelke to Affolter.
Sarah Williams back on the bench, and now she's got a little juice.
Stuelke has 13 points, 2nd highest in the game today, behind only Clark. Schrammick trying to do work in the post without her partner there. And here comes Clark. Picked up the dribble, finds a wide open Kylie Feuerbach for 3. And a 12-2 run overall.
Kylie Feuerbach is a 3-point shooter, and she said, see, I'm a 3-point shooter. And you think about that, like, should we start her or should we bring her off the bench? And Wisconsin opted to bring her off the bench, but as a player, what it does, if you're used to starting.
57-41, the Hawkeyes have made their last 5 field goals in a row, including both 3-pointers, which is a sight they love seeing after a very disappointing first half of shooting the 3. Affolter with their first miss from deep in the second half. So if Wisconsin's going to get back into it, knowing they don't have Williams for probably at least the rest of the 3rd quarter, what do they need to do?
Get on the glass, deep box out, and stop giving up offensive rebounds. And then the fouling. Enough with the fouling. Try to defend without, just play solid position defense without fouling.
Copeland will fire from deep, well offline.
And they don't have to.
As a few players have 2 fouls, nobody has 3. Here's Clark, baseline. Gets her own rebound. Fires it out, and the ball is moving now for the Hawkeyes. For a few years ago, when she was a sophomore, her nickname on the team was the Mother Hen. I mean, she is a big, important part of the heartbeat. Direct meaning and more of like, yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. I went to Michigan. Sometimes things just go right over my head.
Yeah, that school's not known for great education,
not
right?
At all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Less than 10 to shoot. Martin drives. Schrammick with the board. Jimenez, beautiful
I
drop.
haven't seen that type of athleticism in a Badger uniform. I mean, she doesn't need a screen or a set to create an opportunity to score for herself, but that's what I want to see more of from Wisconsin. Just putting your head down, getting to the rim, and trying to draw fouls.
They love the way she's full head of steam going down the court. She can be real dangerous. The lead is 13 for the Hawkeyes. Sellout crowd here in Madison, more than 14,000 fans. Marvelous feed from
dribble penetration. You got to keep your player in front of you, but you just can't leave your step up like that to help.
Jimenez, a deep ball. That's 5 in a row.
She's a capable three-point shooter. She's not known for her three, but when you drive, what it does is it opens up an opportunity for you to score from the three.
Fans trying to make some noise for the home team here. Beautiful save by Kate Martin, and it lets McCabe rip it from deep. That was such a huge shot because it felt like you were starting to see the seeds of momentum for Wisconsin. Back-to-back buckets. Felt like they had a turnover instead of 3-ball drops.
Taylor McCabe, she's a specialist, and that's what she does. She's a three-point shooter.
Clark tries to go behind the back, but loses it. Porter, a good look from deep. The Iowa ball from Kate Martin, keeping the play alive.
I mean, just headsy. I see what Clark was trying to do with that back cut, but just a headsy play by Martin, and just a great look on the kickback. You've got one job, is to shoot it.
McCabe, a former Nebraska Gatorade Player of the Year. Here's Clark from deep. Clark's got 23. A big smile on her face, too. The Let's Go Hawks chant is building momentum. Porter almost steals it away. Caitlin Clark's third three-pointer of the day.
And I know that Sanaya Copeland thinks she's playing good defense, but her hands aren't up. And then look at Caitlin. She's having fun. I mean, sometimes we're not kids, but they're young adults, and they're supposed to have fun playing this game.
She finds a way to have a lot of fun playing this game.
And we have a lot of fun watching her play this game.
Look at that pass. My goodness, can the Hawkeye... That one came from Addie O'Grady. Under a minute to play in the third. A third quarter dominated by the Hawkeyes.
We saw back-to-back give-and-go baskets.
And then Martin gets the... Our experts discuss everything happening in the conference. On Big Ten today, 9 rebounds and 3 assists before she picked up was on offense. 9 seconds difference between shot and game, and there's Sydney Affolter with the steal, coast to coast, and the finish.
Sydney, and just how whatever she needs to have done, Sydney will do it. She's versatile. She can play 3, the 4, rebound, defend.
That's a beautiful and athletic finish for Copeland. And that's going to end the third quarter. It is a fascinating word for, quote, a dog.
A dog. I love that. And that is a compliment. When your coach calls you a dog, then that's a good thing.
That's our State Farm state of success. It's so much success, and there's a turnover opportunity for Sarah Williams to score. That's what she's playing with 4. Clark from deep. Bang!
Hope she doesn't foul out, but just keep going at her. But Caitlin Clark, I mean, we talked about repeatedly about her ability to play without the ball, her ball movement.
Small goals, like 4-minute increments.
just one possession at a time. Like you hear a lot, hey, let's play timeout to timeout. One possession at a time.
O'Grady gets through that double team. Bounce pass from Clark, and O'Grady can't finish. Williams with the rebound.
I like Wisconsin's aggressiveness, their decision to double team O'Grady and turn him over. Wisconsin's still showing a lot of fight.
It is a young Wisconsin team, 10 underclassmen. Nobody in the Big Ten has more than that. Williams, one of those underclassmen. The sophomore with a fadeaway shot. Affolter with another rebound. 9 rebounds for her career. She had 22 points, 20 rebounds, and 10 assists. Doesn't look necessarily like a triple-double is going to happen, but then again, with Caitlin, you can't count anything out.
You just can't count anything out, like you said, Mike. Like, you just never know.
That's a wonderful look to Marshall, who can't finish the three. If you're curious, Clark has the points, is 1 rebound away and 7 assists away. So a double-double much more likely. Williams from the top of the key. Schrammick's trying to save it, but Affolter pulls it down. And here comes Iowa with a 4-on-2 break. Easy peasy for Addie O'Grady.
In this game, Mike.
Williams.
We're just going to pound it into Sarah Williams. Just go around the horn and pound it into Sarah Williams until we get an opening and just let her go to work.
See if she lands on her left wrist awkwardly. Maybe a little bit right there.
Yeah, she landed on everything awkwardly. My wrist hurt.
They really, you can just feel the difference offensively when she's in the game for the Badgers.
And you don't want to sit here and play the what-if game, but you can't help but wonder, like, what if she wouldn't have gotten into foul trouble?
7 freshmen last year. She looked me right in the eye and said, none. There are 0 challenges to that, Mike. I thought, yeah, I deserve that answer. That's fair. Stuelke sitting on 15 points.
That was great defense by Sarah Williams. She just went straight up. Didn't try and block a shot, just contested.
Porter, so confident. Hanna Jimenez with the steal. And the bounce pass to Williams, too strong.
And that's probably the easiest look that she's gotten all night. And right now, Wisconsin, I mean, look at it out there, Mike. They've got 3 sophomores, a senior and a freshman on the court right now.
Stuelke, 2 more. So she's like, you know, the pros of having a team that young is they have irrational confidence, irrational excitement, and irrational buy-in. The cons are they don't quite know how tough they need to be and how committed they have to be.
It's going to be easy, but now it's what she's doing is she's getting players in that are more her personality and demeanor. Tough, gritty, confident.
They won 11 games last year, which is an improvement from her first year in charge. They were the best scoring team Wisconsin has had in a decade. And you can see the seeds of what could be a pretty good program in a couple years. They won 4 of their last 5 conference games, including the last game of the regular season against a ranked Michigan team, which broke a streak of 13. Porter gets 2 more. She's up to 17 points. That's a team high. Stuelke with the left hand.
And you asked me earlier, Mike, do coaches, when they know that there's a player in foul trouble, do they intentionally try to go at him? That was an example of that. They drew that play up for Hanna Stuelke to try and attack Sarah Williams off the bounce.
Williams and Stuelke battling inside. Remember, Williams has 4 fouls. Kate Martin comes away with it. Another 4-on-3 opportunity for the Hawkeyes. That pass went into too much traffic, so the Badgers are coming down. A baseball heave from Porter to Williams. And Leisinger finally. Martin loses her defender. The Hawkeyes clearly know that the clock is on their side. They're in no hurry. Five to shoot. Stuelke. Porter loses it.
For this game.
Leisinger's shot is offline. You know, in the pregame warm-ups, there were sections of girls behind the basket who were saying, "Hi, Caitlin Clark," in unison, trying to get her attention time after time. There are so many 22 jerseys you see all around the arena time today.
Kylie's known as a three-point shooter, but what she's shown us is she can also put the ball on the ground.
Ronnie Porter sitting on a career-high 17 points. And his shot well guarded by the Hawkeyes. That's Stuelke for an easy.
And that's fly down the court like that. She's so athletic. So much speed in the open court for a big kid.
Second game back from a 3-game absence with a leg injury. Another turnover by the Badgers. That's now 18 on the day. Stuelke's approaching her own career high. She's 3 points away from 22. Stuelke's 1 point away.
Defender.
Caitlin Clark sitting, getting ready to check in. Less than 3 minutes to go here in Madison. A 7-0 run by the Hawkeyes. And Mena's at the end of the shot clock. And there's a whistle.
Then why not?
Foul on Porter.
She's got to be taking care of her body and doing the right thing. So young ones, if you're out there listening to me now, get your sleep, drink your water, take care, stretch, take care of yourself.
Your body, the way you sleep, the food you consume, the water you take in.
There's like rings now that measure your sleep and you know what you need and your cycles and all that scientific stuff.
Williams, again, against an impressive Minnesota team that you know has a lot of young talent on that roster.
It's going to be very similar to what we're seeing here today. A lot of freshmen.
But also, the Hawkeye fans and the Caitlin Clark fans travel anywhere that they go.
When Iowa was at the Carver Hawkeye North, I imagine that.
For the Women's Big Ten tournament in Minneapolis, and I'm laughing because you better get them now. They're going to go quickly. Ball attempt there from A.J. Ediger, the junior. Copeland will take an open look. Clark with another board. Clark falls down. Ooh, she looks hurt and is slow to get up.
And you know what? It's time.
It's time. She is coming out.
Let's take her out now. It's time.
Looked like that left knee just made direct contact on the floor, and you can hear the crowd give her the applause she deserves. The Shawnometer up to 3,041 for Clark. Approaching the final minute of the ball game.
1 minute remaining. 1 minute remaining.
Hawkeyes will pick up their 10th to begin the season last year. And by the way, they also lost to K-State in the non-conference last year. Things ended up just fine for them.
What I love about Caitlin Clark and her, we talk about her maturity and her growth, is she says, look, let's not get too high, let's not get too low, let's not get caught up in the wins, and let's not, you know, lose ourselves over the losses. Let's just try to stay in the
As for the Badgers, they'll fall to 5-4 and 0-1 in conference play this year. Get some little goals and start to turn this into a positive season for them.
I mean, their next 2 games are games that each year, all 3 years, it's just where it is right now, and this program is definitely improved.
14,252. got to watch the Iowa Hawkeyes win by 22 points. That's 7. Their win streak on the season has now moved. Sarah Williams in foul trouble early on. That took away an important presence inside for their opponent. And it gave the Hawkeyes their 10th win on the season in 11 tries. Caitlin Clark ended up with 28 points, 4 3-pointers, 50% shooting from deep. The stuff she did inside was impressive too. Great cutting all day, give and go with her teammates. The 3-pointers were not falling early on for Caitlin Clark, so she found a way to provide offense as she usually does, but it didn't last long. The deep shots continued to go down, as they always do. Her percentage from really deep, more than 3 feet behind the line, is amazing. 68% on the season from shots that are 3 feet or more behind the 3-point line. The Hawkeyes open up conference play with the win. Here's Shimmy standing by with the head coach, Lisa Bluter.
Coach Bluter, congratulations on the win. You guys kind of broke it open in the second quarter. Can you just talk about what was the catalyst to breaking this open?
Well, I thought our defense just improved immensely. I thought the first quarter we weren't ready to play defense, and second quarter we held them a lot better. So I think it was defensively. And rebounding, I thought Sid Affolter did a great job for us on the boards.
That's what I was going to ask you. You said that she was a dog. Can you just talk a little bit more about what she brought today?
If you don't love her hustle, if you don't love the way she rebounds, the way she gets on the floor for loose balls, something's wrong. That kid plays with great energy.
This place was packed. First sellout in over 20 years. You're going to do that a lot more this season. Can you talk about the impact that your team is bringing on the road?
Well, first of all, there's a lot of Hawkeye fans here, and you got to love that. When you're on the road and there's that much black and gold, you know your fans are there for you and they support you. So thank you for the Hawk fans that came out today and supported us. But yeah, it's something we have to get used to, being on the road, being in hostile environments, and we kind of revel in it. We kind of like it.
All right, thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Yeah, you mentioned Sydney Affolter. She ends up with 7 points, 4 assists, and 12 rebounds. That's going to wrap things up from Madison. Coming up in a few minutes, Iowa men's hoops hosting Michigan. For Shimmy Gray Miller and our entire crew, I'm Mike Kohl. Let's send it back to Chicago. We've got a Big Ten game break coming your way.